Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Kindergarten with Mrs. R. Let's go ahead and get started with our morning and see what letter we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to share my screen with you and let's take a look. All right, so we are going to be working with the letter H. And the letter H makes the sound like in hamburger. But let's look at some other words that make the H sound at the beginning as well. Hose, hoop, like a basketball hoop, hand, hat, hook, like a fishing hook, honey, house, and horse. So you can see how every single one of those words has the H, the sound at the beginning, okay? So we'll be working on the letter H today, but we will also be working on a new sight word too. But before we do that, let's go ahead and review the letters that we've learned so far. Okay. Letter B says B as in ball. C says K as in cat. A says A as in apple. F says F as in fan. G says G as in gum. O says O as in octopus. D says D as in dinosaur. R says as in rainbow. T says T as in teapot. S says S as in sun. N says as in necklace. M says as in money. L says as in ladybug. U says as in umbrella. And then our letter for today, H says as in hamburger. Okay. We're also going to be learning a new sight word today. And our new sight word today is the word he. H-E spells he. Okay. So we have he, but we also have words that we've learned from before also. So let's practice these. No, I, my, can, see, the, like, we, to, is, me, and, a, at, and you. So lots of words we've learned so far. All right, so you're going to go ahead and get your kindergarten binder out. You're going to need that. And we're going to go ahead and start off our morning by writing our name. So let's go ahead and turn to the page that we need to get to for My Name Is. So you're going to need your dry erase marker and your eraser, okay? So go ahead and put the lid in your dry erase marker and let's go ahead and get started. So I hope you guys had a good rest last night. So important to rest. Your brain, when you go to sleep, it's time for it to recharge and repair itself, and anything in your body when you rest, your body repairs itself. So when we don't sleep, we feel really yucky, don't we? And that's because we didn't get the time we needed for our body to kind of shut down and slow down and rest. And then when you get up in the morning, it's really important that you have a good breakfast, a really good healthy breakfast, because your body is like a car. And cars need gas, fuel to go, right? So they drive. What happens when a car runs out of gas? It doesn't work, does it? Just like our bodies. So if you don't put gas in, which we don't eat gas, we eat food. So you have to put healthy foods in so that your body and your brain can work well. Okay. So after you've written your name, go ahead and erase it. And if you're not done, go ahead and push pause. All right. So we're going to work on our new letter for today. So we're going to find the letter H. So go ahead and look for the letter H. I'm sure that your mom or dad has put it in your notebook. So go ahead and find it. Here it is, letter H. Letter H is a really easy letter. It's like making a bunch of number ones, okay? So capital letter H starts at the top line and goes down like a number one, and then you draw another number one, and then you cross at the middle. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, start at the top and go down with like a number one and touch that bottom line. Do another one and cross in the middle. Oops, too far. So down, down, across. Really easy. Down, down, across. Okay, now down here, you try it all by yourself. Down, down, across. Down, down, across. Down, down, across. Down, oops. Down, down, and across. Just like that. I'm going to erase that. I don't know how that turned out. So down, down, across. There we go. That looks better. All right. Let's get our Play-Doh out. You know what we need to do. We need to build some letters with Play-Doh. So let's go ahead and roll out some worms, because we are the Play-Doh worm making experts. Right, you guys? Okay. So let's do that. And oops. Really good at making worms, aren't we? There's that. And then we need to make the middle part, of course. Just like that. And squeeze it all together. Push it together. There we go. So down to the bottom, and across, just like that. Okay. So if you're not done, push pause, and then you can finish up. All right. So we're going to go to the back and do the lowercase h. Right, and lowercase h is an easy one too. Start at the top line and go down to the bottom, and then keep your pencil there and go back up and around and make like a letter N, okay? Down, up, and down to the bottom. So you start curving around, you go up to the middle line and curve and go back down to the bottom like a lowercase n, okay? So down to the bottom, up and down. Down to the bottom, up and down. So you only go to the middle line and then come back down. Up and down. Up and down. Just like that, okay? And then lowercase h, it's like a number one. Just like that. And then I need to make the curved part. So this a little bit. So just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and follow this with our finger. So down and up and around. So let's do it again. Down and up and around. All right, so make sure you trace it with your finger. And I know you may not be at this part yet, and that's okay. So you can always push pause and you can continue on when you're ready, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and then I'm going to turn to the letter search page, or the section. And I'm going to find letter H. There it is. And then I'm going to get my dry erase marker. Of course, we know whatever letter is inside this box is the one that we're searching for, okay? So I'm going to go row by row and look for letters that have the two number ones and the cross in the middle. So you go ahead and look too for eagle eyes. Some of these are kind of tricky, so you really have to think about, does it have a cross in the middle? If it does, it's probably an H. So I'm going to count in my brain. Okay, this is how many I found. What number is that? 10. Okay, so you need to find 10 letter H's, and then after you found them, you can erase. But if you haven't found them yet, then you need to keep looking. All right, so go ahead and push pause if you're still looking for H's and finding 10. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase my board. And now I'm going to go to the word of the day. And of course, the word of the day Grab that card real quick here. Is he. H-E, okay? So H-E spells he. So I'm going to rainbow write it. H-E spells he, and then I'm going to build it with Play-Doh. So we'll have my Play-Doh again. Big snake. There's my H. Look at you. So I'm gonna pinch that off. And then I need to make my E. So I'm gonna make a worm. Oops. So I'm gonna roll that out. So I can make my E. Alright. So just need a long one and I rolled it around. There we go. So let's go ahead and trace it. So down, up and around. And then I start at the middle and go up and around and down for E. Okay. All right. So if you're not done, go ahead and finish up. And you can join me when you're ready. Okay, we're going to go to our high frequency word list section. And we're going to go to our first page. Okay. So we're going to put that word in the box. And let's go ahead and say it. He. Now let's spell it. H-E spells he. And now we're going to write it. Okay. So lowercase h starts at the top and goes down to the bottom like a number 1 and a bottom. Okay. And then the E goes out, touches that middle line, and comes down to the bottom. Let me do it one more time. Touch the top to the bottom like a number 1. Hold your pencil there and go back up and around and down. E, lowercase e, goes out, goes up and around to the middle line and touches the bottom line, just like that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and erase mine. Turn to the next page. Okay, let's go ahead and say it again. He, and spell it, H-E spells he, and this is where you're going to build it with your magnetic letters, so go ahead and grab those if you haven't yet, and go ahead and build your word. Okay, and the last page, we're going to go ahead and say it, he, and we're going to spell it, H-E spells he, and we're going to roll it out last time with Play-Doh. Okay. All right. Roll this out. And, okay. And I need to make another one for my letter E. So I roll it out. I think I get to play with Play-Doh. I probably play with Play-Doh more often than any adult I know, which is kind of the fun thing about being a kindergarten teacher, because you get to play with toys and you get to play with paint and do watercolors and do crafts. A lot of fun stuff. You get to do that fun stuff anymore. So there's he. So trace it with our finger, go down, and up and around, and just go out and around. Just go just like that. So if you're not done, go ahead and push pause. So let's go ahead and close our notebooks. And we need to get out our backpack there, our Starful backpack there, listening and writing book. Okay, and we're going to find the letter H, which is on page 37. Page 37. It's a 3 and a 7. Page 37. Okay. So you're going to need crayons and you're going to need a pencil for this part. But before I do that, I need to put the lid on my Play-Doh so it doesn't get dried out. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we're working with here. So I see a horse, a helicopter, a heart, and a hummingbird. Do you guys ever see hummingbirds at your house? We have a ton. We put out hummingbird feeders and they fly all around our kitchen window and our where we sit to have our breakfast table. We can see tons in the morning and we see tons in the evening. It's pretty fun. Okay, so we're going to read this. So get your pointer finger ready. And we're going to read together. Ready? Get your mouth ready and get your ear ready to listen and get your finger ready. Ready? Go. H is for horse. H is for helicopter. H is for heart. H is for hummingbird. So can you hear the sound in horse, helicopter, heart, hummingbird? Okay. All right, so H's we're going to practice. This should be easy because we've been practicing them already, so you're all warmed up. So you start with a number 1, and then make another number 1 and cross the middle. Down, down, across. Down, down, across. Easy, right? Down, down, across. 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 Just like that, okay? Now the lowercase h, make a number 1 to the bottom, but go back up and around. So down and up and around. 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 You got to make sure you touch that middle line and go back down to the bottom. Down and up and around. Down and up and around. Down and up and around. Just like that. Okay, so now we need our crayons. So I'm going to grab my crayons. And I think, let's see, I think I'll do my H brown, and then I'm going to color my horse brown too. So I'm going to go ahead and color. And like always, we do our best. We are not scribbling. We are coloring inside the lines to the best of our ability. Trying our best every day, right? To be the best us we can be. Okay. Horses are such beautiful animals. They are so strong and they can run so fast. Just amazing to me. Some horses are so big, like the race horses. Those horses are really tall. And they measure horses in kind of an interesting way. They measure them by hands. So they'll say, this horse is 12 hands tall or 17 hands tall. And what they do is they measure the horse from the bottom of the horse and they put their hands and they measure how many hands tall they are. That's how they measure them. Isn't that funny? They measure them by hands. So it's just interesting that they do it that way, especially since everybody has different size hands. So, but yeah, that's how we measure some. Some horses are just absolutely huge. And they actually have wild horses that roam the plains, which is a pretty cool thing. Okay, so let's see, my helicopter. I guess helicopters can be any color, but I'm gonna color this one gray. Yeah, but I guess, you know, they paint them, so they could be pretty much any color you want them to be. Heart, I'm gonna color that red. Trace it first though. And then I'll color these in the month of February, when Valentine's Day gets close, we do a lot of things with the heart shape, crafts and projects. So that's a lot of fun. That's what I see a heart. It reminds me of Valentine's Day. And then, oops, then hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are so beautiful. They are so tiny, but their wings flap so fast. It's so crazy. And they have the most beautiful colors on them. Hummingbird, one time I saw a hummingbird nest in one of our trees, and it's so tiny. It's the tiniest nest, you guys. They're just the coolest birds. And they drink nectar out of flowers. So you'll see them going around, or if you put out a hummingbird feeder, they'll drink nectar out of there. Okay, so if you're not done, go ahead and push pause, and then come join me when you're ready. All right, let's turn to the back. Turn to the back page of our, sorry about that, my phone was ringing. So let's go ahead and turn to the back page, and let's take a look and see what is happening there. All right, it says listen, then circle the word and write it. So I'm going to say each one of these words, and then you're going to decide which one of these two words goes with the picture. So they did the first one for us. Hat, hat. Now there are two words here. Hat. Listening to the sounds, hat. You can hear the at, hat. So then you're going to write that word on the line, just like this, okay? So let's try the next one. Ham, ham, This is hot, hot. Is that the same as ham? No. Ham. Oh, this is the word. So we're gonna write this on the line, H-A-M. Okay, so this is hug, hug, hug. Does that say hug, or is it this one? Hut, hut. Hug or hut? Hug, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and write that, H-U-G, hug. Okay, let's go down here to the bottom. Section 2 says sound it out. So we're going to try and figure out what these things, these two pictures say by getting the first sound of each one of these pictures. So this is a horse. What's the first sound in horse? H, right? Because H says as in horse. Umbrella, What letter makes the sound? U, right? Tiger, tiger. What letter says t as in tiger? T. So then we take each one of these letters, the H, the U, and the T, and this says hut, hut, and that's a hut, okay? Now let's figure this one out. Horse. What does the first sound in horse, what letter makes that sound in horse? H. Igloo, it. I says it as in igloo. Pizza. What letter says as in pizza? P, right? Okay, so let's take this first letter, H, I, P. H-I-P. Hip. And it's pointing to his hip, so we figured it out. Pretty cool, huh? That's a pretty cool little puzzle that you have to try to figure out. All right, so you guys can work on coloring this after we're done. We already colored the front side, so I'm going to have you go ahead and close your book, and I am going to go ahead and stop sharing that. All right, so I hope that you guys had a great morning of learning. We don't have any writing to do today because you finished your October writing journal already, so you get a little break from writing. So I hope you guys have a great day, learn something new, work hard for your moms and dads, and as always, Mrs. R misses you, and I will talk to you very soon.